Well, thank you for allowing me to come and visit with you. I feel like I'm back home. I was part of Canning Country for 27 years, and it's so nice to see familiar faces that were part of our lives for so many years. I'm here to talk to you about the Social Security Fairness Act. And I want to start out by saying I am not a Social Security expert. I am not affiliated with any retirement company or retirement program, and I am not a CPA in any way. I have come across this knowledge because I am in that time of life where I am retiring from my career, and I'm looking and researching for myself, for my life, and kind of putting all the ducks in a row. And, oh, there's my name. And anyway, I came across something that I thought I want everyone to know about. And so let me get started by giving you two definitions. One is spousal support, and that is the money that you receive from when your spouse dies, from their Social Security. And then there's a Social Security benefit, and that is the money you receive from paying your Social Security for yourself when you retire. Having said that, let me tell you a story. There's a couple, let's call the wife Mary. And Mary has worked as a secretary for a company and has paid her Social Security taxes for many, many years. And if Mary retires, Mary will get $1,000 a month, let's say. In the meantime, the husband, let's call him Bill, and Bill works for let's say he's the custodian of the sheriff's station. And he doesn't pay into Social Security. He actually gets a state pension. Some kind of retirement like CalPERS, CalSTRS, one of those. And lo and behold, they're very happy. They're about to retire. But life happens, and Mary passes away. And as time goes on and the difficulties, with emotions are getting better, Bill goes to the Social Security office and he says, I need my spousal support. My wife was going to get money and I need my spousal support. And they said, oh, that's great. We're here to help you. But you get a pension from the government, don't you? And he says, yes. He goes, okay. We'll take 2/3 of that and we will subtract that from your wife's Social Security benefit. And if there's anything left over, that's what you will get. Does that sound fair to anyone? Is that really what's supposed to happen? We don't choose to pay Social Security. We have to pay Social Security. And those benefits or those monies are promised to us by the government to come back to us or our families when we're deceased, our spouse in particular. Well, you can imagine. It's very unfair. It's very tragic. And part of the tragedy is that this law that offsets your pension, called the government pension offset, has never been told to people. The law was passed and there was no criteria to inform the public. And so most of us, and I see that you're nodding your head, most of us come to retirement expecting spousal support if you're a widow or widower, and there's no money most of the time, or very little. Totally unfair, totally taken by surprise. It's just not right. And so I'm happy to tell you that there's been a bill proposed in Congress by a congressman in Illinois. And this law is called the Social Security Fairness Act. If that law passes, they will repeal this government pension offset. I think that's a good thing. I think that that's a fair thing. Well, this law is now in the Ways and Means Committee, which is the committee in Congress that deals with taxation and money, because Social Security, they call it contributions, but it's a tax, right? We all know that. I came here tonight because my goal is to tell as many people about this law as possible, the Social Security Fairness Act, and to urge you to please contact our congressman, Congressman Steve Knight, and let him know that you want him to support this bill, that you want it to get approved, and that you want to repeal the government pension offset. It is fair, it is just, it is the right thing, and it's what's good for our country. There's many, many widows and widowers in this country that are affected by this. I can tell you, I looked at the statistics, it's 1 in every 4. 1 in every 4. And so it's important that we pass this. I've left some sample letters for you in the back. It has all the information you need. It has the email address. It has his office address. Please feel free to take one and contact the congressman and tell him, please support the Social Security Fairness Act. Thank you so much. Okay, what's your comment?
Actually, what you're referring to, I think partly was called the double dip law that was passed by Ronald Reagan. Give you an example.
In 1983.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was called the double dip. Something that's very interesting. If somebody has if there's an actor and the actor pays into Social Security and pays into a pension, when that actor retires, that actor can collect both Social Security, the maximum, and the pension.
Private pensions are not considered the same as government state pensions.
No, I understand that. Now, on the other hand, if you have a person who's paid into Social Security for 30 years, and they're entitled to the Social Security, and they have a part-time job as a teacher, and they are able to get a pension. Now, meantime, they've already worked 30 years and paid into Social Security for 30 years, and now they want to collect their Social Security, but they also want to collect this pension. Same thing. If they collect the pension, half their Social Security is cut because they're saying it's the double dip law. They're saying that
it's not half of their Social Security. Oh. That's the windfall elimination provision, and they will lose up to $428. That's the maximum they can be taken out.
It could be half. I mean, depending what they get.
Well, yes, if you have an $800 Social Security benefit, then yes, that's at least half.
But Senator Dianne Feinstein has, and she started a bill, started working on this concept many years ago. I would suggest to contact Senator Dianne Feinstein. Steve Knight is now, you're mentioning him. Buck McKeon, when he was our congressman.
In 2011, he tried to do the same thing.
He had a bill, and he was co-authoring with Dianne Feinstein. Mm-hmm. And but Buck let it go, and Feinstein, I think, has done the same thing.
Well, let me tell you, the chances of the Social Security Fairness Act passing is 1%. It's written right into the law. At the very bottom, there's a line, and it says there's only 1% chance of this passing. And part of the reason that it's only 1% is because people don't know about the government offset pension. And so what happens is we're surprised. I'm surprised. My husband passed away. I went to get his spousal support. Lo and behold, I don't get a penny. Now, granted, when I'll be okay, but there are people that get very little Social Security and very little pension. It's not right. It's not right.
It's a disgrace.
It is. It is. I agree with you. It's a disgrace. Was there a question in the back?
Okay. The person you named Bill, say he works for a Social Security company or where they take Social Security out for the first 10 years of his life, and then he gets this government job with the county, and they don't have Social Security, they have their own private thing.
Right.
When he retires, there's some question about his Social Security being part of his retirement, or they're taking some of that and using that to pay his retirement?
So that's called the windfall elimination provision. So what happens is he will get his pension, and then he will collect his own Social Security benefit, but they can take up to $428 off that Social Security benefit because they estimate that you're not entitled to it. You haven't worked that many years.
So if his Social Security benefit is less than $420,
Then he doesn't get anything.
then he won't get anything.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
That's not part of this act, though.
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, it is. The Social Security Fairness Act addresses and repeals both the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset. It does. I've only concentrated on the government pension offset because it affects widows and widowers. And I think it's a sad time in life to have to deal with, now I'm losing my spousal support as well.
Do you know what ages the Social Security can be collected, and when have they moved it up from 60 to 62 to 65? Do you know any of those rules?
I am not a Social Security expert. I can tell you that I looked for myself, and I can collect at 62, 66, it goes up like $80 a month, and then at 70, it goes up another $80. That's what I found out.
I'm soon to retire.
But I have this thing, I think I'm going to take it at 62 because frankly, or as soon as I retire, because I don't like the government holding my money. I just have this thing. I want my own money in my hands. Any other questions? Please, please, please call whoever. Just let them know you want this bill passed. It's the Social Security Fairness Act. Thank you so much. Thank you.